Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Rick with Rick's Toy Room, and I have another awesome video. My light's all messed up, so sorry. Just got back from Florida SuperCon in Miami. Now, about a month ago, my roommate from MegaCon had reached out to the guys at CGC and was like, "Hey, do you need any more witnessing? We're down to do whatever. I want to do some more cons." And CGC got back to him and was like, "Yeah, actually, we're going to try out MegaCon Florida SuperCon this year. I need a couple guys. Who else do you know that still wants to do this?" So Charlie got a hold of me. I was like, "Dude, I'm in." My boy Dusty was like, "Yeah, I can stay and watch the dog," so it was cool. So I was like, "Let's do it." So it was about a 5-hour drive from where I'm at to Miami. I went to work Thursday. Miami was a little bit different because it was an early start on Friday. Normally what they do is they bring us in the day of the convention. So like when we do MegaCon's like Thursday at noon, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we go home. Well, they brought us in Thursday night because SuperCon started at 10 a.m. And because a lot of us were driving, like CGC is located in Sarasota. It's like 3 hours for those guys to get there. 5 hours for us. Charlie lives on the other side of the town. So they're like, "Come in Thursday night. We'll put you guys up in the hotel Thursday. You'll be rested. Meet us at the show floor at 9 a.m. or meet us in the hotel lobby at 9. We'll go into the show. We'll get it set up. We'll do our thing." So I was like, "Cool, let's do it." As always, every person I meet and interact with, for the most part, are super cool. The convention itself, I don't know what happened. It feels to me that either people are being prepared for San Diego, which starts this Wednesday, or people are getting like conned out because, I mean, I'll tell you right now, right here in Florida, in the Tampa area, so like the mid-Florida, you've got MegaCon was February. You had Spookala already in like June. You had the June Spookala. Florida SuperCon was this last weekend, July 18th, 19th, and 20th, or 19th, 20th, 21st. Next weekend, San Diego. But then for Florida, you got Tampa Bay, which is August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. You have Fanboy in September. You have Fanboy in September, Spookala in October, Ocala is in September, and then I think Spooky Empire is somewhere between September and October. So I'm like, dude, that's like Fanboy, what did I say? MegaCon, Spookala, Tampa, Ocala, Spooky, Florida Mega. Oh, and UltraCon's this weekend. UltraCon's in South Miami. So, dude, that's 7 conventions in Florida this year alone, all within driving distance of each other. It's not like we're talking like tip of the state, like right there. So, and I say that because the con was slow. Friday started out really weak. There could have been maybe 100 people waiting in line to get in at 10 a.m. They had good talent. So Friday had a bunch of the Dragon Ball and One Piece voice actors. That was Friday. And they also had, like, all weekend was Michael Anthony Hall, the guy that played opposite of him in Weird Science, a couple other, like, older celebrities. Saturday had John Boyega, Walter Frank was there too. He was there all weekend, the Black Power Ranger. But Saturday was John Boyega, Chris Eccleston, and the other chick that was the female Doctor Who. Jeremy Renner was there Saturday, and then Sunday John Boyega stayed. Anthony Michael Hall was all weekend. Chris Judge was there all weekend. Like, the majority of the con was voice actors, so it did draw in a high number of anime and cartoon fan base with like Funko collectors. There were not a lot of comic artists. There are a couple that were there, like Peter Smith. Tom Woods or Tom. Oh God, I'm gonna mess his name up. The guy that drew Masters of the Universe, Scooby Doo. He did all the Filmation and Warner Brothers and Deke animations. So he did Brave Star. He did Masters of the Universe. He did the real Ghostbusters. He did, like I said, some of the Warner Brothers stuff, Scooby Doo, and some of the Hanna-Barbera. Oh, dude, his work is phenomenal, and I'm really mad I got rid of all my film cells, but he had a bunch there. Charlie actually got his badge signed with a little sketch. One of the guys that did artwork for Lorcana, a big Disney artist, he did the original Lilo and Stitch. He was there all weekend. I mean, they had talent. Just for some reason, the show was dead. So Friday, like I said, about 100 people to start. Around, I would say around noon, 1 o'clock, it picked up really heavy. We started getting really busy. We were able to witness a bunch of comic books. We did. Big thing for us was to sell the JSA witnessing. So this was the second show that JSA and CGC was doing witness for JSA autographs. So you could now witness your Funko Pops, and you get a new sticker that has a QR code that will tell you this was witnessed at Florida SuperCon on this day by this voice actor, by this person, whatever. So one of the big things that CGC and JSA wanted to do was to promote and push selling those. So they gave us a sales goal, said, look, can you guys try to get 25 between the two of you throughout the whole weekend? Well, you fuck up when you do something like that, because my old sales days just activate. I was like, oh, dude, I'll do 25 of these on Friday. Well, I only did 6. But Saturday destroyed it. I think myself, my head count alone was 55. We had, I think, 68 sold that weekend. Saturday or Sunday, I did 22 by myself. So we put up, and then with what Charlie did, using what they pre-sold at on Reed Pop's website, we did 98 of these things, right? So that was fun. That was amazing. I got to really do some real I had to work for this, man. So that was fun. But that goes into my point of how busy it was, right? So again, Friday super slow. Wasn't able to. I mean, there just wasn't a lot of people in the event. Now, vendor-wise, the vendors were pretty phenomenal. The show floor space, I mean, it's probably half of MegaCon, but it was, I mean, very well spaced out. Artist Alley was, it didn't feel super cramped, but it wasn't they cram as many of the up and coming comic artists and storybook writers and craft makers as they can into the area, but they still did a good job. Everybody had a really decent booth size. Actual vendor wise, when it came to toys, comics, most of the comic vendors had some really good spots. A lot of the toy vendors had really lots of space. I mean, I ran into a couple pop dealers, ton of video games. I mean, if you were looking for video games, this was the show to be at. There had to be 3 or 4 video game vendors. Huge. I mean, their booths were probably the size of my room right now. And I mean, awesome stuff. The celebrity aisle was really well done. I mean, they basically gave the celebrities the entire length of the convention floor. Food wise, they had some pretty decent options. They had a lot of alcohol there, so that was fun. They had an entire back area for cosplay, LARPing, all of that. For those of you who don't know, LARPing, that's live action role play. Think the movie Role Models. But it's real. They really do this. Saw some amazing costumes in the cosplay area. The 501st had a big layout. Yeah, really good. Saturday was fairly busy. But it wasn't so busy that a lot of the celebrities actually walked. Friday, Anthony Michael Hall, I think he left at 2 o'clock. The show went from 10 to 5, 10 to 7. He dipped. There was nobody there getting celebrity autographs, so they just all left. Jeremy Renner was crazy. So Jeremy was scheduled to do photo ops and panels almost all day. So the show opened at 10. Jeremy was scheduled from like 10 to 2 for just photo ops, panels, etc. Then what they did was at 1 o'clock they lined everybody up. Well, that kind of caused a problem because people were lining up at 1 to get his autograph and missed their photo op sessions at like 1:30. So there's a lot of problems with that on Saturday. I don't think Reed Pop really worked that one out or had any inclination that that was going to cause a problem. 2 o'clock, Jeremy started signing. So he had a huge line. I mean, there must have been 400 or 500 people just in his line. They really cranked through the line. They did a great job at getting his line moving, getting people like all the pre-sales were scanned in. Everybody had their ticket, what they were buying, what they were autographing, and they did a really good job of getting that organized. They had him set off behind a bunch of closed curtains. They had a security guard that kept the curtain closed so people couldn't like try to see him and snap photos from the outside. Everybody that met Jeremy Renner said the guy was amazing. I can't tell you how many people came out and were crying like, "Oh my God, he's the greatest!" And I'm never washing my hand. And a couple of the comic guys, I mean, they were geeked out. They said he was really nice. I got a nod from him. I actually couldn't. I'll tell my story about that in a minute. But Jeremy Renner's really cool. Like the guys that were getting the comics done, they're like, "Hey, can you draw me like this little arrow and write Hawkeye?" So he did like a quick sketch of like Hawkeye shooting the name Hawkeye shooting an arrow. Really cool. He didn't really like charge the guy for that. Apparently he did like give a few people, a couple of freebies here and there. But they did like. I'll go back to that. Jeremy Renner was really cool, to say the least. But by 4 o'clock, there was nobody in the convention center. So Jeremy was signing from 2 to 6. From 2 to 4, he cleared out like 400 people. And then there was nobody there. So like 4:45, the show's like, does anybody still have their signature, pre-order for Jeremy Renner? Come get it. He's here. We're open. I picked up a couple stragglers, but you could have literally walked in at 4 o'clock and just walked right into his line, 2 minutes, got an autograph, met the guy, and left. And that's crazy to me because I've been to cons like MegaCon. I've seen like Anthony Michael Hall, for instance. Like I said, he left I think at 2 o'clock on Friday. When we were at MegaCon, his line had like 600 people in it consistently. Like he was busy the whole con. Now, granted, the entire Breakfast Club except for Emilio wasn't there, but like his booth, like they stayed super busy at MegaCon. He wasn't busy at all at Florida SuperCon, and neither was Jeremy Renner. Like he got through his 400 people. He did all his photo ops. Like he was done. It was easy. That was crazy to me. Saturday, again, very similar with like John Boyega. He was very busy at the beginning of the day. It kind of tapered off and it just kind of like slowed down, so they called it a day. Chris Eccleston, like I said, he was Doctor Who. He was Destro in the G.I. Joe movie. He was, I forget his name, but he was the bad guy in Gone in 60 Seconds. Dude, that guy was hilarious. I got a chance to meet him personally. I wasn't going to buy autographs this con. I was like, I like these guys. They're kind of expensive. I got house stuff I got to deal with right now. I was like, I don't really want to blow money on the con. Then I blew some money at the con. So I was like, look, this is the only day Jeremy Renner's here. His line's being pretty cool. And by this time, I've already been cool with the guys operating the show. So there was a couple of the Reed Pop staff there that, and all these shows, they always bring in their own staff for the actual operational, and then they have the volunteers. Well, all day Friday, I was really cool with like all their volunteers, all their handlers, like trying to make friends, trying to stay cool. I make sure to stay out of people's way. I make sure I'm available for everybody. And the chick running the show was like, look, I know Jeremy's going to be busy, and I know you guys want to do some stuff. I was like, look, I will make this as easy as I can for everybody. I don't want to be in your way. Obviously, we have a job. You have a job. Jeremy doesn't want to be bothered. I was like, help me help you. Like, tell me where to stand so I can do my witnessing, get my job done. These people that paid for Reed Pop for the pre-orders of the witnessing, like, they're going to want that witness. And I know you don't want me in the booth, and you don't want me wasting time putting things in bags. Where can we work this out? So CGC and ReadPop worked out where we could get visibility on the witnessing, but we were away from the main table, so we stayed out of people's way. And dude, we were cranking it. They were cool. So it's like, look, I got my QR code. 400 people in line. I know I can't stand in line because I got to do this witnessing. I was like, if I have one of these guys that are already going through the line turn in my ticket so that they can get my autograph for me, could you just scan my barcode? She's like, come here, dear. Boop. Hops like 500 people, gets me scanned, gives me my ticket. I'm like, bet. One of the guys getting his comic book signed. I'm like, yo, man, grab me a photo real quick. I got you. He's like, yeah, I got you. And that's the thing. Like, the comic guys, not even just the comic guys, but the convention guys are super cool. Like, if you're cool with people in line, the people in line are cool with you. You just become, like, this instant con friend, right? Like, you'll never know each other outside of the con. You'll have a good story. So, the guy getting his comic book autograph, he's like, I got you. Hook him up. I give him my ticket. He comes out. You know, I get him all bagged and tagged. He's ready to go. He's happy. I got my auto. So, Jeremy Renner. And like I said, I got to see him after when the show kind of slowed down. Super, super cool dude. Super cool dude. I mean, had I known his booth was going to die at 4 o'clock, I would have went and got the autograph personally and talked with him. But I got to talk to him afterwards for a second or so. So, I'm good. Like I said, everybody loved him. That was awesome. Chris Eckelart. So, this guy, dude, the bad guy for Gone in 60 Seconds. For whatever reason, I just love when Raymond Reigns goes back to him. So when Nick Cage goes back to him with the cars and they don't get Eleanor, he's talking to him and he's like, look, I don't have Eleanor. And then Eccleston's like, 49 isn't 50. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole because I can't deliver 50 cars? And then he goes to kill Raymond Reigns. I love that line. I don't know why. It's delivered in a way that just is always set with me. So I was like, of course, he sees me get the Gone in 60 Seconds photo. And I try to ask something weird. I'm not really weird, but I just try to get like some kind of like, I love just ask these guys like questions they don't normally get asked. And I was like, what's the weirdest thing that you have signed? And I mean, I've been told by some people like, oh, this guy made me like this personal doll and wanted me to sign it. Like, I had to sign a baby. A lot of celebrities go, I don't like signing body parts. Whether it's breast, arms, legs, whatever, they don't like signing body parts. It's kind of weird to them. Eccleston goes, oh, and I'm going to fuck up a British accent here, guys, so don't, like, he's like, oh, I just hate signing. He's like, body parts, they're always so weird. He's like, and it's so hard to get the autograph on the asshole. It moves so much. I'm like, what? I'm looking at him, and he delivers this. Because, again, you know, am I the asshole? So he's like, oh, autographing the asshole, it's so hard. And I'm like, I look at him, he looks at me, and we both know he's fucking with me. At the same time, it fits the character. The guy was quick, man. Dude, great fucking experience. Loved it. He was hilarious. He was my dude. He's my dude. Loved him. So that was really cool. John Boyega, very similar. Finn. Similar kind of interaction. So John had... Again, there's a lot of people in his line. I was kind of flirting with the handler a lot. And again, this was Saturday. Tons of people in his line. At this point, I'd bought all 3 autographs for Saturday because I'm like, John's going to be your Sunday, but in case it gets really slow and he decides he ain't coming back, I'm just going to knock it all out. So I'm sitting there shooting the shit with a couple guys in line. And, you know, we're all talking about, like, our favorite celebrity interactions, our worst celebrity interactions, who's our favorite autograph, who's our hardest, all these things, right? So I wait for John, and one of the guys was getting, he's getting like 4 autographs. He was getting the photos, like him for his buddy. And at this time, I had already had Eccleston scored, so I had it in the top loader. And the guy's like, oh man, he's like, dude, I need to get me a couple of those top loaders. And I was like, all right, John's like 10 minutes out. I run over to the top loader guy, throw him $10. I'm like, give me a couple top loaders. I come back, I hand the guy 2 top loaders. I was like, bro, I got you on the top loader, but can you do me a solid? I was like, can you grab me my Finn auto because I've got to work the line. I've got to take you to get your authentication. I got the 4 guys behind you that need authentication. Like, I've got to leave. Like, I'm going to be running the booth back and forth for a minute. I don't want to miss the chance to get his auto. Dude's like, I got you, man. I can't believe you bought me like a top loader. This is awesome. Yeah, I've definitely got you. So I'm sitting there. I'm watching him. We're talking to John for a second. He gets the autographs. Cool. They dry. We take him. We take his top loaders. We go drop him off to authentication. And I go back to John and we keep moving. Some of the things about John that are really, I didn't know. The dude's tatted. I mean, he's just got wrist to arm, both arms. Saturday, he comes out with this blinged out watch. I mean, this thing had rocks everywhere, like done. And apparently he's an LA Dodgers fan because he had an LA Dodgers hat on Sunday. But so John comes out and he's just in a t-shirt chilling. He's got his bling on. He's talking to his fans. He's being cool. About halfway through his signing, he decides he's going to take a break. And when he takes his break, they come out and they're like, we need to flip his table. And we're like, what? Apparently John doesn't like people walking behind him. So the way it was set up was, think of like a desk, like a desk. John sitting on the right side of the desk, like, you'll probably, whatever. Right side of the desk, John's sitting, all of his photos. People are coming up on the left, picking their photos, paying for them, and then going to John on his right. Well, the problem is John was the last table in the autograph area, and it sits in front of the guest lounge. So all the other celebrities had to walk behind him with all their staff, walk past him and go into the lounge, and it was kind of bugging him. He doesn't like that. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like to sit with their backs to the door. So I get it. So we flipped his table, made it a little bit hard to work the flow because the floors were already taped, but still worked out really well. One of the guys getting their autograph with John was like, hey, can I take a photo of your watch? Like, my brother has this thing for watches, loves your hardware. John's like, bro, do me up. So gets a photo of his watch. Like, that was really cool. John was really good with his customers. I thought he was really nice. So that was cool. Then Saturday was basically coming to an end, and I just happened to walk by I was kind of walking the aisles because it was just really slow, and ran into Walter Frank. And it's really crazy that he was here. I didn't realize he was going to be here. I just got done seeing the YouTube special where he was talking about how they were non-unionized and how the show really screwed those guys. So I was like, Walter, I was like, man, like, that's heartbreaking to hear. Like, you guys were like some of the best things. You were the best thing of TV in the early 90s. Like, you know, I love all the behind the scenes. I love the stuff you don't get to see. I love the like pre-production, the post-production. I like hearing the guys' stories, how they goof off, you know, how you guys interact with each other off camera. And I'm like, that was really heartbreaking. And he's like, dude, he's like, well, do you know about, you know, Gilligan's Island? Well, yeah, I'm old. He's like, dude, he's like, they were non-union. Every one of the Gilligan's Island guys died broke. And I was like, that's fucked up. So then he's like, well, pick a photo. So I went through it and I was like, I'm going to get this one, right? Like, classic Walter. And then, like, now it's got the new version, the Power Rangers Once and Always, right? He's like, dude, he's like, you realize that's my anniversary photo? These are like 35 years apart from each other. And then, of course, I'm like, man, stop bullshitting me, right? Like, now you acting. And, of course, he laughed because he does not look that old. And I'm like, fuck, man, this just reminds me how old I am. But for me now, it's like, now I've got Black Ranger, I've got Pink Ranger. There's what, red and blue still left. So I'm like, oh, now I'm going to have to find John Yost and the other guy's autograph so I can, like, finish up the original team that's still alive. So now I'm looking forward to that. But he was really cool. Some of the other guys that I got to meet. Saturday was really busy. Oh, we talked about Friday, Saturday. Sunday was a joke. Sunday, you could have walked in and out of any booth except for the Dragon Ball voice actors. Sunday, I walked in. The show only had like 50 people waiting in line. It did not really pick up. Those that were there ran right to Alex Lee. Alex Lee does the voice of a lot of characters, and apparently there's a new Dragon Ball movie out that I'm not aware of. He took a phenomenal amount of time with his guest. He made sure he really, well, after a little bit, I realized he was kind of pushing the movie. He was asking everybody, well, are you going to see it? Make sure you get your tickets, man. So he was really promoting his movie, which as an actor, that is like, that's on point, right? That's kind of why you're out here. You're out here self-promoting. You want people to remember you. You want people to know you. You want them to know your work. You want to get paid. You want your royalties. I can't hate this guy, man. This dude was hustling, okay? He was a hustler. But at the same token, he gave everybody just an amazing experience. I can't tell you how many people I just watched leave his booth just so happy that they met him and got to talk with him and interact with him. But because he takes so long with his guests, like, they shut his booth down at 1:30 in the afternoon. He did not finish signing like maybe 15, 20 guests 30 guests for 2.5 hours. Everybody got a selfie with him. Everybody got a pose with him. It was really good. And he was really cool. Like, really jacked dude for being a voice actor, man. Like, cool as shit. And it was funny because they were really trying to rush because he had to make his plane. He was flying home. So they're like, man, we got to get you going. Like, we got to get you out of here. So they're kind of rushing him. And he finishes up the last couple guests. And he was out with he had 2 people left that he had to sign. I just scored 2 more witness authentication purchases. So I'm taking these guys over to get witnessed. I get them signed off. And, like, I go back. He's gone. I'm like, okay, he got out. I get over to John's table because John's still closing out his table because John's going to like 3 or 4 o'clock. There's Alex Lee. And Alex Lee's like, I want to meet John Bodega. And I'm like, bro, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you got this guy that has just made he's made my year's salary in the last 2 days signing autographs. And he's freaking out wanting to meet John Boyega. And I'm like, so you got Alex's handler working with John's handler. Get them to do a meet and greet. Get a little photo. I love seeing celebrities freak out or geek out because it's like they really are human too, right? Like these guys, they're fans just like the rest of us. So that was really fun. It was really cool. Yeah, it was awesome. And of course, you know, typical Comic-Con stuff. My last guys that were signing with John were doing the JSA witnessing. They had some pre-purchase and they were going to buy a couple extra. I get this guy halfway to the table and he's like, I can't find my QR code. I left it at the table. And what was funny is me and the handler, and God, I wish I could remember her name. We were talking during our downtime about how, like, you always get those guys, right? They forget how to work a con. All of a sudden they go brain numb because they met the celebrities. Like they just don't, they're not prepared. They don't plan. They don't have a game plan. They don't have an exit strategy. Like, so they always screw something up, and it's always like the people's fault. And sure shit, I'm like, dude. So I run back. I'm like, God, I hope she hasn't left yet. She's cleaning up John's table, and I'm like, I need the garbage can. I was like, where's the QR code? She's like, oh, we threw them away. I'm like, I need the garbage can. She looks at me. She's like, are you kidding me? I'm like, I've got to go through the garbage. The guy threw his QR code away. I need it for them to scan. And of course, she looked at me. I looked at her. We both kind of like, we just said this, right? So she's like, I'll help you. So she's digging through the garbage can. We find the guy's receipt. Of course, we kind of laugh about it. I fly back over to get my job done, you know, get the guy's receipt turned in. We get all this stuff authenticated. And it was just like, man, dude, we just talked about this. Like, you guys, this is not for most of you, it's not your first con. Get your shit together. But yeah, so I mean, really cool. I met a couple really cool vendors. I saw some really cool artwork. I will put the photo up here in a second on the screen. But Peter Smith was there, and he was doing sketch covers. And he had blanks for Crypto the Super Dog, you know, Kryptonian Dog of Steel, whatever the title is, #1, blank covers. He sketched and was sketching all weekend Cryptos. So he did one sketch of Crypto just sitting there being all like derpy. Then he had one where he sketched where he's chewing on a Batman chew toy. I lost my mind. I was like, dude, it reminds me of Crypto. Always reminded me of Duke, who is fat little lazy butt is snoring right now. Crypto always reminded me of Duke when he was a puppy. And then seeing him with the little chew toy reminds me of Duke when he had his little elephant. And I'm gonna post that photo up too. Crypto just reminds me of Duke. It was like, dude, this is your piece. So full sketch, full sign, got it witnessed, got it sent in, and oh, dude, I can't wait to get it back. I don't care what the grade is. It's going to be like one of my favorite pieces for 25 so far. Met this one artist, and I'll post her Instagram here in a second. She was super cool. She was promoting her game that she made and her artwork. She had these really cool pieces where she drew stained glass art, and it was of Dungeons and Dragons. And I saw that. I was like drawn to the table, right? Like I was like, dude, this is cool. And it was more like the animated Dungeons and Dragons. So I went to, it was weird. I took out my phone to take a picture, and it fell. And I'm like, I didn't touch it. And she comes out and she starts laughing. She's like, no, I was watching you take the photo, and it just fell when you pulled your camera out. She goes, you kind of have to buy it. I'm like, oh, I kind of want to buy it, but I'm like, oh, I packed up everything. I don't need more artwork. So sitting there talking with her for a few minutes, she was super cool, super nice, kind of cute. So I was like, dude, I'm gonna come. Like, I'll come back and check out. She gave me her card. I went back to the hotel that night, and this was Friday night, Saturday night. These cons blur together sometimes. I was checking out her work on Instagram, and she has this really cool piece of Samus, and I'm gonna post that up. And I was like, dude, so I tagged her on Instagram. I was like, hey, did you bring the Samus artwork with you? And unfortunately, I'm sure after an entire day, 2 days of just trying to slang your product and push product and talk to people, she probably wasn't even paying, or maybe she's doing some artwork. She wasn't paying attention, didn't reply. So I went in Sunday morning, and I was like, hey, do you got the Samus work? Like, if you got the Samus print here, I'm buying it. Like, it's a cool print. I love Samus Aran. I love Metroid. Super Metroid was the first version of Metroid I ever beat, and then I beat every Metroid after. I've never beat the first Metroid. But I was like, this piece, I just want this piece. Unfortunately, she didn't bring it because she was doing more of like the fantasy fairy artwork. But she's really cool. I hope you guys check her out. I forgot her card, so I will get it snapped and thrown up here in a second. Cards on the table. All in all, I think the con itself was a success. I can speak English, I promise. I really do feel that the con was a success in terms of getting the word out about the JSA witnessing, especially after everything has come out about Fanatics, and I'm going to do another video about that. This is running long. I think getting the JSA witnessing out was super important to us. I had a blast doing it because, like I said, by like Friday night, I was kind of getting my groove, but I just couldn't get like nobody there Friday. It was all a lot of little kids, a lot of really tight budgets, a lot of people that didn't care. They were like, I met my anime guy, I got my Funko signed, I don't need, this is mine, right? Friday was a lot, or Saturday was a lot more collectors. Saturday was a lot more your con, like your, what do I want to, like, I don't want to call them like your aficionados, but these guys are more your experienced con goers. They know you set a budget and then you carry some extra, right? Because you're going to either not know about an artist, somebody's going to surprise you, there's going to be something that comes up that you just absolutely fall in love with, like the crypto book that I spent way too much money on. It was $150 for the full. Now, granted, okay, hold on. It was $150. It was a full page sketch cover, multicolor, crypto chewing on a Batman squeaky toy. It wasn't $150. That was it was crypto. Sorry, I went back to that. But so Saturday was really fun to get the sales in, right? Like I went back into my sales mode. My cell phone days came out. My Xbox sales rep days came out. My hustling video games in Iceland came out. Like my hustle just came back out. And I mean, if you're in sales, if anybody that watches my videos is in retail and has to deal with customer service, your customer service voice comes out. Once your customer service voice comes out and you get your sales pitch going and you get in that groove, it's a wrap. Like, so I was slanging the product. It was really cool. The marketing guy for CGC, he comes to me. He's like, I'm gonna help you. He's like, we can make this thing faster. If I run them, you sell them, I'll run them. We're good to go. He was listening to my pitch. He starts stealing my pitch, which was awesome because at that point it's like the marketing guy knows this is gold. He's slinging it. Now he's getting the product sold too. Like me and him, man, we were tag teaming the crowd. It was a blast. And then Sunday, again, as any con, it's kind of your chill day, right? Like you hit everything else you haven't already hit. Maybe if you do have extra money left over, you pick up the stuff that you were kind of like, that's cool, but not on my budget cool. One of the things that I wasn't expecting to spend a ton of money on, but I did, were a bunch of Japanese snacks, so I'll send some photos of those up. I've tried some really weird Japanese chip flavors in the last 3 days. A lobster roll chip, a barbecue grilled shrimp chip, a fried chicken chip, tons of really weird flavor Oreos, a grape mochi. Grape and chocolate should not go together. It goes together. Strawberry Oreos, grape and mochi Oreos. I still have the Cinnabon, the birthday cupcake, and I got a third one here. Or I've got 3 Oreos still here. I was saving them for Dusty to try, and then I took like all 5 of the flavors to work for the girls to try. There is a biscotti Kit Kat, and I'm pretty confident they actually have a layer of a biscotti cookie in the Kit Kat. It's white chocolate. Oh, so good. The strawberry cream cake Kit Kat is pretty good. Man, the Japanese flavors, like I said, this vendor here, like, I wasn't expecting, again, you know, I got a little extra scratch after the con. The vendor had all the Japanese snacks, and I was just like, I took some photos, sent it to everybody, and they're like, oh, that'd be cool to try. I'm like, we're doing it. I walked up to this guy's booth, and I was like, he had a dark chocolate orange that tasted just like the I think, was it the Thames or Thames, whatever. Oh, dude, the dark chocolate orange Kit Kats, find them. They're amazing. So, yeah, anyhow, I walk up to the table, and I'm like, I'm taking 2 of everything. And the guy looked at me like I was stupid. He was like, huh? And I'm like, I want 2 of everything. So I walked over to the Oreo section. I was like, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. I started getting a pile. I was like, give it to me. I got your bag. Threw everything in the bag, put it aside. I was like, cool. Kit Kats, I want those Kit Kats, throw them in a bag. I want those, throw them in a bag. I was like, we got to try all the chips. 2 of all the chips. I'm not going to say how much I spent on Japanese snack food. I will say it was ridiculous. It was what Dusty would refer to as us getting beefy, because we used to do this where after work, when we were working at Digital Highway, that we would go back to the crib, shower up, meet at my place because I had the projection screen. We'd hook Halo up, and then we'd run to Speedway and get like $50 to $60 in snacks, and then play Halo all night until we had to go to work the next morning and go to work dead. I spent more than $60 to $70 in snacks, but it was awesome. Dusty wasn't really a big fan of the shrimp ones. Charlie didn't like the lobster roll ones. I like they've got like a Wagyu beef one that I like. Dusty's got to try that one yet. And then there's still like a few flavors we haven't tried, so we're going to crack into those. But yeah, I think, again, the con was a success in the idea that not only were like all the celebrities were cool. Christopher Sabo, he voices like Goku and a bunch of other characters. Piccolo. Dude, that guy was amazing. When people brought like the really high-end, like holographic Dragon Ball cards, he had a blacklight flashlight and he had a blacklight pen, and he would sign it in invisible ink, UV ink, so that like when he signed it, you couldn't see it, but you hit the blacklight, the card glowed, the signature glowed. Everybody he saw with like a cool uniform on or like a cool shirt, he'd give him something free, do something cool for him. The guy was phenomenal. Like, he was really great. The girl that voices Goku, had a great conversation with her. So my guys wanted to do some witnessing. We took their product from Chris. We went over to see her. We were getting some more Funko signed for these guys, and they were talking. She was really like digging the fan. She's like, dude, no one else has that pop here. Everyone's looking for it. If you just put your hand up and said it's for sale, she's like, you'd start a riot here. While they were paying her, I was like, so being a voice actor, do you ever just like order food in character or like answer like spam calls in character? She's like, darling, and she breaks out a southern accent. She's like, I play with all of them. She's like, I've been doing prank calls since I was 14. I have a good time. So then she starts doing Goku's voice. She's like, yeah, order a pizza, Goku's voice. She's like, people lose their shit. And I'm like, that's what I would do. Like, and it was funny because they start telling us how like when they go out to eat, like especially if her husband sees a kid or a fan in Dragon Ball gear, he'd be like, hey, do you guys want to meet Goku? And they're like, what? And he tells them, I know, like, I'm here with the voice actor. Most people don't know it's a female. They sit down and she just has a conversation with them as Goku. Like, these guys are amazing. Like, all the years I've done cons, ever since San Diego, the one bad time I had with Mark Hamill, ever since, I've never had a bad experience with the con guys. But SuperCon, I don't know if you guys just picked a bad year. I don't know if you picked a bad time this year. I don't know if maybe you picked the wrong crowd. Maybe you picked the wrong location. I don't know why your convention was so slow. But I'm glad you had it. I was glad to be part of it. I love CGC for inviting me back. I will be at Tampa Bay Comic Con August 1st through 3rd doing witnessing. So if you are a fan of mine, if you are on my stream, you are in the area, come find me. You're going to see me in a red I Need a Witness shirts, promoting and representing CGC and JSA, having a great time with all the fans, all the guests, and getting me a couple autographs because Melissa Joan Hart's going to be there, and so is Keith Davis. Oh, and I heard a rumor I'm not allowed to share, but it is in everyone's best interest to pay very close attention to CGC's website for upcoming in-house, because they have a guest that will absolutely rock the planet. So stay tuned. If and when I can say something, or once they make it public, I will do a video about it. But stay tuned. So see you guys at Tampa. Like, subscribe, follow, share, comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me about your best fan experience at a Comic-Con is. Tell me what your worst is. Maybe we'll do a live. I don't know. I'm going to kill this video, but I'm going to come back because there's a couple more I want to talk about. So on to the next video. Thanks, guys.